Hi everyone and welcome to Cube Chemistry, the channel where we will explore all the elements of the periodic table and also conduct chemistry experiments. If you want to see more and don't want to miss an episode, make sure to subscribe. So today we are going to take a look at an element, and the element of today is going to be oxygen. Now, oxygen is a very important element, so let's take a look at it. Here we got another block, and in the block we see that we got another tube. Looks a lot like the krypton one, right? It's element number 8. It has 15.999 mass, and the letter is O. So today's element is oxygen, and when we think of oxygen, most people will think of air. And it might surprise you to learn that 61% of the human body is made up of oxygen. In my case, the weight of the O2 atoms in my body is 48 kilograms. And this raises the question, why does our body need so much oxygen? Well, see if you can get the answer for yourself, and we will provide the answer at the end of the video. So, we go to the properties of oxygen. We see 8 protons, 8 electrons, like I mentioned earlier, 15.999 atomic mass, and it is, as you can see, a gas. The only stable isotopes are 16O, 17O, and 18O, but 17 and 18O are extremely rare. Now, isotopes can be separated by distillation, a process that we showed earlier with alcohol. And by precisely measuring the isotopic composition of both hydrogen and oxygen in water, we can determine its origin and the temperature at which glaciers in Greenland or Antarctica were formed. And this allows us to infer past climate conditions. Now, the boiling point of oxygen is minus 183 degrees Celsius, and this is utilized on a large scale through distillation of air, and this is how we create huge quantities of liquid oxygen. Now, the Latin name of oxygenium comes from the Greek words oxys and genomai. Now, genomai we know from earlier from halogene, which means salt maker, and in this case oxys means acid, basically meaning acid former. Now, why was this proposed by French chemist Antoine Lavoisier? Well, it was proposed in 1771 because oxygen was found in all known acids at the time. The assumption was that acidic properties were caused by oxygen. But this hypothesis was later proven wrong, and for example, hydrochloric acid shows that it is wrong because it is basically hydrogen and chloride, and it does not contain oxygen. The discovery of oxygen was attributed to Swedish chemist Carl Wilhelm Scheele, who was also an apothecary, and Englishman Joseph Priestley, who independently isolated the element from other compounds. Now, oxygen commonly exists as a diatomic molecule, so O2, which means that it consists of 2 atoms, but also forms ozone, which is O3, a molecule with 3 oxygen atoms. It's the most abundant element on the Earth by weight, because 85.8% of the water in the oceans is oxygen, and in the atmosphere is about 21% oxygen, O2. Now, the atmosphere and the oceans form a layer of only 4 to 8 kilometers thick. So if you compare that to the Earth's radius, which is over 6,000 kilometers, there is much more in the Earth, actually. Now, let's take a look at what it manifestates in the Earth like. Well, basically it forms minerals, quartz, like this one. And these are basically silicium oxides, but we know them as quartz, and this is green quartz. Now, it may surprise you that half of what I'm holding here is basically oxygen. And then we have here smoke quartz, same thing. More than half of what I got in my hands here is oxygen. We have here rosé quartz. same thing. Most of it is basically oxygen, what I hold in my hands. And if you know that, you can realize or determine or basically get the idea that most of the Earth crusts and the Earth itself is made out of oxygen. So let's then move to the applications. Now the primary use of oxygen is basically to burn stuff, both in our bodies and burning fossil fuels, utilizing atmospheric oxygen. Now the atmosphere on Earth, the 80% nitrogen oxygen ratio, is perfect actually to ensure manageable combustion processes. A higher oxygen concentration like 2080 would result into spontaneous fire in warm conditions. Now, we will dig into these properties of oxygen in upcoming episodes, so if you don't want to miss those, be sure to subscribe. But for now, it's good to know that these are basically the properties. Rocket engines require minimal and lightweight fuel tanks, often compressing liquid oxygen for combustion. And each breath you take contains about half a liter of air with a deciliter of oxygen in there. In rest, you breathe about 12 to 15 times a minute, consuming around 400 to 600 liters of pure oxygen a day. Now, the high oxygen content in the human body is due to the fact that we consist for 70% out of water, which is 85% oxygen by mass. Water serves as a solvent in which where reactive molecules can interact, and the oxygen we use helps to extract the energy from those molecules like glucose through slow combustion processes. And those combustion processes then produce CO2, which we exhale. Now, over half of the produced oxygen, the sort of oxygen that's being produced, is used in steel manufacturing. Liquid iron from the blast furnace is injected in high pressure oxygen to remove unwanted elements like sulfur, carbon, and they're forming sulfur dioxide, SO2, and carbon dioxide, CO2. Now, steel contains a very precise 1.8% of carbon for optimization of hardness. Oxygen is also present in many acids, such as nitric acid, and sulfuric acid, and is also used in synthesis of organic products. So you may see that I've changed the lighting a little bit, and that has to do with an experiment that we will conduct in a couple of seconds. But let's move on to the conclusion. In conclusion, oxygen is essential in most of everything, in almost everything, and for various applications. If you think I missed something important, let me know in the comments. Now, before we address the question, I wanted to show something. Besides noble gases, you can also make a gas in this specific block visible with a Tesla coil that we used earlier. Now, this block contains about 99.995% pure oxygen. And if I can hold it close to the Tesla coil, it will emit light in a little bit of a faint blue color. Now let's see if that's the case. So as you can see right now, I dimmed the light, put on the Tesla coil, and we're now going to check out whether it glows. So here we go. And there it goes. As you can see, it is a very faint kind of blue light, but it's definitely there. So that's what oxygen looks like when it's stripped away of its electrons. So that leaves us with the question of today. The question of today was, why does our body need so much oxygen? Well, this is more of a biological question, but biology is essentially an extension of chemistry, right? So let's see. As mentioned earlier, the human body requires a tremendous amount of energy, and to obtain this energy, the combustion of the sugars is necessary. This process requires the 400 to 600 liters of oxygen we inhale daily. Now, mainly we need this oxygen to maintain our water levels. As mentioned, 70% of what we are is basically water, and that's what we need the oxygen for. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to subscribe, and see you next week.